big question we're answering on this show is, how can any entrepreneur or business use intellectual property and the law to invest in themselves, their businesses, create wealth, and live the life of their dreams? I'm Francesca Witzburg, and welcome to the Legally Invested Show. Today, we're going to talk about the top 3 IP myths that most businesses and lawyers actually get wrong sometimes. So the first one is, do I need to register my trademark? And in the United States, the answer is technically no. You can use your trademark and actually have trademark rights that are based on use. Those are called common law rights. However, those rights are significantly limited. This is the caveat I want everyone to understand. In the United States, use-based rights are limited to the geographic region where the mark is in use. With online businesses in our digital world, clearly that is a big, gray, ambiguous question. And when we hear big, ambiguous, gray questions, that's synonymous with dollar signs, litigation, having lawyers try to battle out and show, and businesses show where their rights are in the United States. It's expensive, it's costly, it's emotionally draining. And I equate it to rolling a boulder uphill if you are trying to assert your rights based on common law rights. So the way that we get around it is by filing a trademark registration. Because in the US, if you file a trademark registration and the government issues that registration, you're getting a presumption of rights in all 50 states. So that kind of circumvents the where are my rights in the geographic sense of the world. And so we encourage people to register their names for that point, and it's something that a lot of businesses miss sometimes. So everyone should know that. There's also a variety of benefits when it comes to registration. You get to use that R symbol. You also get to enforce your rights on some of the big platforms that require having a full registration in order to prevent someone from using your name and get someone to stop using it. The other benefit is being able to transfer those rights and being more marketable if you're selling your business or selling some sort of program that is, or product that is associated with that brand. There's a ton of other ones, but those are the really high level ones. Myth number 2 is whether or not you have to register your copyright. So in the United States, copyrights are created upon creation of the work. They are automatic upon creation of the work. You have a copyright in a creative work as soon as you write it down, as soon as it's manifested and it's put into a tangible medium. It's really important for everyone to understand because copyright is an incredible tool, which we will talk about on this show. The Supreme Court recently ruled that having a certificate of registration, so having a copyright registration, is required to enforce your rights. Not having a registration and not having an application, it needs to be a registration. So that's a really important point. If you want to enforce your rights, if you want to go after other people who are copying you, you really have to have that registration. And the third thing that many people make mistakes on is who owns the intellectual property in an employee versus an independent contractor situation. So if you are hiring an employee within the scope of his or her employment, and that employee creates works for you that are within the scope of his or her employment, you as the owner, the company rather, the employer owns automatically those copyrights and that intellectual property. Really important part. So what happens with an independent contractor? It's actually the opposite. Independent contractors own the intellectual property no matter how much you pay them, no matter what's said verbally, until there is a written assignment of those rights. It has to be written in an assignment and transferred to the person hiring. Those are the three main ones, and I hope everyone understood them. If you don't ask questions, I'm happy to answer. Click subscribe and follow for more incredible IP tips.